1 million people per year commit suicide. That's one person every 40 seconds and 3,000 people every day. That's someone that you walked across in a park and sat next to on the train. Little do we know we are all connected in one way or another. And it doesn't matter the degree, whether we saw each other or knew each other for years. We're all connected, and we've lost so many lives because of suicide. And it's something that is silenced, and it's not said all the time. It's rarely said. It's not talked about because it's a sad thing. But we talk about tons of sad things every day. Why not suicide? People say that they don't talk about it because it's sad and it's heartbreaking. But should that really be the reason why we're not talking about it? Because it's difficult? There is someone out there today who wanted to kill themselves. And there is someone who wanted to hurt themselves. And someone who chose to do just that. And you might even know that person. But it's not talked about because it's hard to talk about. That's the reason. We don't talk about self-harm or suicide or mental health nearly as much as we should, because even though it may be hard to talk about, it's something that needs to be. We're all connected and we all have to deal with it. Whether it's someone that we know, whether it's ourselves, or whether it's just going on in the world around us, it needs to be talked about. It can't stay silenced forever. And this is something that I care about. I care about it a lot because I've known people who have thought this way and who have had these problems, and they don't deserve that. They don't deserve to be shoved in a corner because it's hard to talk about them. It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to us and the people that we're teaching and the people that are teaching us, because the next generations, they need to know about this. The generations right now need to know about this. The generations before us, they need to know about that. And whether they did or didn't ever learn about that, they should have, because it's important. We talk about hard things every day, but mental health is one that's shoved in a corner, wrapped in a box, and shoved under a bed. It's not talked about because it's hard to. The people who are dealing with their mental health right now because it's so bad, they're being shoved in a corner, and society says it's because there are things that are more important that need to be talked about. But really, what is more important than someone who wants to end their life? Is there anything more important than that? It's not talked about. And the people who care a lot about this discussion, this topic, they're not doing anything to change it. They're not talking about it. They're not trying to start the conversation. This is something that I really care about, and I think it needs to be talked about. And this is the first step. This is where it begins. I don't know what I'm going to do from here on to try to get this topic to be talked about more often. But I'm gonna think about it and pray about it, and hopefully something will come to me, because this needs to be talked about. The people who are feeling this way do not deserve to be shoved in a corner at the time in their life where they need to be brought into the light the most. If you're out there watching this and you have children, whether you're a parent or a teacher or whatever you are, this needs to be talked about. Kids need to know that this is something that's okay to talk about, because there are a lot of kids out there who are dealing with this. And they might be the next person that dies. because they feel worthless, because they feel that they're being shoved in the corner, and you need to bring them back into the light. And talking about it is the first step. Your friends and your family, they might be screaming, but you just can't hear it. And they might feel ashamed to tell you, but they're screaming, and they feel like no one's listening. And the worst is some of them are screaming, and people are hearing, but they're putting in earplugs to try and drown out the noise that they're inevitably vocalizing. There are people out there who are screaming for help, and people are hearing it, but they're not listening. They're choosing to reject those people and shove them back in that little box under the bed so that no one hears them. Your friends and family, they might be the next person who dies. This needs to be talked about. And it has to start with one person who cares deeply enough about this to try. To try and get this talked about. Because it is important. There is nothing more important than someone who wants to take their life. I am the person who is going to try. And when I fail, I'm going to get back up. Because I will fail. It's inevitable. But I promise to get back up and try again. Because those people need it most right now.